Guys,
Hey, America, Triple M reporting in here.
Shell Dragon 90 here. Last guy.
Alright, well,
today we're talking about Final Fantasy, and as you noticed, Billy is not here with us right now.
VGab is not with us. He could not make it. So, anyway, on to the topic. Final Fantasy.
It was originally created by a guy named
Hironobu Sakaguchi.
What he said. And basically the main franchise was Square Enix.
It was formerly Square, though. Enix actually merged with it.
Yeah, it was one of his last-ditch efforts in the game industry, trying to pull himself around.
Yeah.
And it just basically got so popular that it had many sequels, I can't even count on my fingers and my toes.
When you're slumming, what better way to attract gamers than putting girls in scantily clad clothing and weapons? I mean, hey, if America was like that, I'd be like, hey, party on, dude.
Yeah, especially if they have big ass guns.
Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors.
No, seriously, what do you think? Come on, it's just basic physics here. I don't know.
It's just like a marketing for just to attract male players to pick up the game and play it.
Yeah.
Just for that.
Well, apparently,
it's fan service. I'll say it's fan service. That is.
Apparently, it worked because they sold over 100 million units.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's one of the most popular science fantasy RPGs, actually.
Yeah, especially in America. Oh my God, people go crazy over their Final Fantasy.
I know. It's
even though
creepy.
it's literally, I'm sorry to say this to everyone. It's almost the same thing as Call of Duty. It's the same thing usually over and over and over again. But at least they get creative with it.
Well,
that's what I had to say. They put into multiple genres such as role playing, MMORPGs, fighting. I think there was even a dancing one.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think the first first game of the series. It was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago.
It was made in 1987.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sakaguchi conceived that one. Now,
yeah, and it actually hit Guinness World Records Gamers Edition in 2008.
Yep, it was the star. It was the star on the Walk of Game. It was the Walk of Game in 2006 too. It holds 7 world records in the Guinness Book of Records for gamers. Yeah, it's actually well known for its innovation in visuals, music.
He's just reading off the wiki.
Yeah.
Lol.
I'm sorry, guys. I really don't know much on this.
Well, actually, no. You know what? I was actually. The thing is.
Well, Billy's not here, so someone had to take over.
Hey, listen.
We don't have a backup.
No. I actually. Well, hey, listen. You want to ask me about this game? I'll just say the only reason why it is popular is because of the content. Listen, when you have geeky guys with the retain. Hey, Dragon Fist, Shadow Dragon. I know you can back me up on this, and so can True Darkness here. When you see like the typical gamers, like the nerds with the retainers in the mouth, like they see something scantily clad.
Hey, that was me when I was 14.
Hey, no, I'm saying, listen, it was everybody. Listen.
But I really didn't get into the series that much. It just didn't appeal to me.
Of course it didn't.
After the first 2 or 3 games I played, I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Well, hey, it was something new for the 80s.
I mean, the series did get so big that it went to phones, it went to handheld game systems.
Final Fantasy.
And all that. I mean, the Final Fantasy, I think that's 14, A Realm Reborn, or Lightning Returns.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just totally skipped on One Piece.
Well,
what they're basically saying is right now on the 7th and 8th generation consoles, they're gonna be coming out with about 1, 2, 3, 4 new games already planned out.
Well, from 1987, somewhere, I think it started in the winter because it came out just in time for Christmas, the first one. So.
Yeah, it did. It was
Yeah.
It was just basically he was just so desperate to get it out.
Yeah.
And he really needed to just basically get his popularity well, not really popularity back. He just needed to get. He just needed something
Well,
that would get him
yeah.
off his feet again. Because
But it's just like over the course of like how many years from 1987 to now, over all those years, he came up with how many games to remake to make sequels. Actually,
36 years about.
well, hey, listen, there's not a lot of there's not much you could say about it. But anyway, we digress. Actually, a few of them were released for Nintendo. I think 3 of them were.
So,
There were a lot of. You know what? I also got the gamers to cling to the games were the actual people inside the game, like the characters. You know, like I said, I'm gonna use the excuse again, like
Yeah, but as I'm looking right here, the older games, they were just simple.
Oh
They
yeah, oh hell yeah! Like, come on, what do you expect for the '80s,
It was a
dude?
simple turn-based RPG game.
Well, what do you expect from the '80s? That's when things were first starting to come out. You know, it was. What did you have in the '80s? A Game Boy, if you had that. I don't even think it was Game Boy.
I don't think it was even out. I think one of the first Game Boys came out in 1990. I think one.
Well, yeah, well,
it was
Well,
1999.
Huh?
Actually, no, not even. Was it? When did Game Boy?
I don't know.
No,
I couldn't-
it was sometimes in the 19. It was sometime in the 90s.
90 something. I don't remember.
yeah, but like,
I remember having one when I was like 5 or 6.
well, yeah, well, listen, there were some types of handhelds for the '80s, but they weren't like what we have now. But what do you
Yeah.
expect? I mean, the first Final Fantasy, was a very simple game. It actually kind of reminded you of a Pokemon game. Like that's how the graphics were, like a Pokemon game for like Game Boy Color,
like the older ones.
yeah, like Pokemon Red and Blue. Remember?
It's
all those-
ironic. Nowadays, my new phone, the Galaxy S4, has way better processing power than the old handheld gaming devices.
Well, shit. Hey, not all of us, want to let go of the games we had, thousands of years ago with,
Don't you mean millions of years ago on the Triceratops?
yeah, like I had to ride my dinosaur to the video arcade to play a Super Nintendo or
Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
Jumping Man.
yeah. Well, but hey, listen, it makes
Well,
you
no.
this
I
stuff.
lo-
It'll make you feel old. Listen,
I'm
Final
sorry. Every time I think of the old games, I get
Yeah.
a very bad nostalgia boner.
Well, listen, Final Fantasy is the perfect example of that because of its. I mean, look at
Of
what
its
you have.
history.
No, look
you
at what
went,
it
you
has
went
now.
from something like a Pokemon theme,
I know, like
just to big titted girls fighting off monsters.
I know, but like, look at what you have now, and look
I
at what
still
it was.
playing the Sunday
Like,
night in the city of 012.
like you guys can back me up on this. Look at what you had back then from Final Fantasy, and look at what you have now, like with the sequels. It is something totally different. Like the graphics, the game design, the plot. It advanced with the years. It kind of became like timeless almost.
Yeah, and Square Enix gave their fighting series the city an actual story.
Really?
And it brings back all the characters from the Final Fantasy series, including the most original one that was Under Night. If any of you guys played the original Final Fantasy, it went from actually just a sprite with turn-based command attacks to an actual 3D model that you can play as in a real-time fighting game. And his XE attack still uses that sort of classic menu option to select his attacks. Either I think it's mage or ninja mode.
It was most likely the mage.
Yeah, mage, and the second one was his ninja. Got ninja, Friday Night is ninja mode.
You know what? Well, actually, I'm remembering.
Oh
Well-
my God! Final Fantasy actually had a manga.
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
That's it.
I did not know that.
I think that was
It's a manga and an anime.
it was 12, right?
Yeah, 12.
When did that come out? Does anyone remember the year that came out?
I can check it right
The
now.
manga and the anime.
The
Uh,
actual manga, because
Manga came out about 3 to 4 years ago.
because I remember when I was overseas in Asia, we actually would go, like when we were in the city, like in Tokyo. I actually would go by stores and there was mangas of Naruto. There was who else was there?
Oh, hey, Peter's
One
online.
Piece.
No, but there were a lot, and I also saw a few Final Fantasy things. You know, that stuff is very big in Central Tokyo. It is. Like, and you know what? I told you guys.
Tokyo still is.
Yeah, I told you guys. I told you guys. I went to the anime museum and the anime studio.
Yeah.
They had Naruto. They had Final Fantasy. They actually had like, I actually over like, we got to tour. I got to have a tour of the place, and they were actually. This is kind of weird. They actually were talking about a Final Fantasy game, like in a future tense, like, oh, we're gonna make this new Final Fantasy game. So
I'm sorry, James. I can hear the echo from my side on your screen.
no, I think that's yeah.
Yeah.
But while we were getting a tour of the place, like there were two of these animators there for the actual video game, and they were talking about another Final Fantasy game in the future. Like it hadn't even been created yet, and this was back in 2007. This was back in 2007. So whatever game, like it was in July of 2007. So whatever game they were planning on making, like that's the game that that I heard about. It was actually kind of cool. It's like, you know, kind of like, hey, they're gonna make a new Final Fantasy game. It's like a government secret that I had to bring back to the States, you know. It's like no, like I report back to these guys. Hey, intelligence from overseas. They're making a new Final Fantasy game. Dun dun dun.
Oh, you know what? You know what I found?
About either making the Final Fantasy 13 or the side stories, which is Type 0.
I still have no idea what the crap of Type 0 is.
It's like let me think. God. Oh yeah. Type 0 is basically a side story to Final Fantasy 13. Of course. Of course.
Hey,
you know,
hey, listen, we all have our tastes and our dislikes, you know.
Speaking of which, you know what I saw online a while ago? I'm sure everyone saw this. McDonald's Sephiroth and KFC Cloud.
What?
Yeah, the Final Fantasy. They made They made a McDonald's as Sephiroth and KFC as Cloud.
Oh, Robot Chicken.
Okay, Robot Chicken.
No, it wasn't Robot Chicken. It was actual people cosplaying as that.
I see
KFC rolls.
You might sound like a weed whacker.
Can't help that. You just have to deal with it.
Screw McDonald's. KFC rules.
That's why it was Cloud.
Exactly. Someone got something right, I guess.
Exactly.
Meh.
Now what are we doing? Making egg puns?
Hey, listen. We do what we gotta do. Anyway. Now. Oh, look, a video game. Final
Oh,
Fantasy.
Miss Candy.
Yeah, a video game.
Oh, wait, what we were talking about again?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Super Mario. Duh.
The hell?
Duh.
Don't be the nerd girl.
That
Oh
was
no, don't get me started on that. Anyway,
Oh my god.
Final Fantasy. Okay. Now, let me ask you something.
Did he really think we were talking about Mario?
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't. Come on. I was being sarcastic. Anyway, shout out. I think we're facing some technical difficulties with Dragon Fist's microphone again. Anyway, shout out Draco. What's your opinion on the Final Fantasy's saga, the Final Fantasy Saga course, like the course of the actual saga? What's your opinion on it?
I can't give you a straight answer because I haven't been paying too much attention to the actual saga.
Okay.
But the only games I ever played on my portable system were, as you know, 012 and Type 0.
I see.
And I'm saying is,
Well, since
it's up to the creators, it's up to the storyboards, it's completely up to what they can come up with next for the Final Fantasy series. If they can stick to the rules, that's good also. Other than that, I hope for them to actually come up with a better game instead of sticking with the 13. But even though moving out of the 13 like they've been doing for these past couple of years is a bit of risky business for them as a company, but it's also a giant step towards a better goal. If they make a sequel to 13 that's much better than what they did with the last one, then they hit the jackpot with the gamers and the fans.
Yeah, no offense to Final Fantasy, but the only real good games that I noticed were from like 1 to 7 that I've actually played.
Also, like using like the RPG style ones, right?
To each his own. To each his own. But
Yeah, because I've noticed this about some gamers say that a lot. Actually, no, a lot of gamers say the same thing that I am. The only reason why they even stick with this series right now is they're hoping for something better. Because they think it's too good of a title to die down.
Well, it's probably something that, it's kind of like what we call the Family Guy complex. That's all I gotta say. It's the Family Guy complex.
God, don't even. This is Bickering Gamers, not Bickering TV.
Well, believe it or not, I heard that that's actually a real complex now. People are actually calling it a complex. So wherever it started somewhere, but they're calling it. It's like you hope for something better each time you watch it, or every time you play it, you hope for something better. Anyway, Dragon Fist, what's your opinion on the saga or its series or anything you play? What's your opinion on it? Like, where do you think it'll go? Do you think it was good to begin with?
Let's see. Well, for starters, I've been playing Final Fantasy for a good long while, so I'll say they're going in a good direction. But I think it's time for them to end 13. I mean, like, they already made 13 too. We get it. Freaking Lightning's missing. She's in Valhalla, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever.
I mean, no offense, but what's with the twos?
When she comes back and everything else is like, alright. They're overdoing it with the characters a bit too much, but I think they're going in a good direction with it. Maybe with the next game, they're going to do something new. Maybe a new fighting style. I don't know, really. But I can say is the game has gone well. They actually started making TV shows about it and everything else, so I'm guessing it's going good.
Well, it has had its recent increase in popularity, but that's only mainly because it's only one of the few actual decent games out there nowadays, that, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good indie games and a lot of hidden gems nowadays, but then again, there aren't that many mainstream titles out there that are actually getting out good games.
It's funny you should say that. Now, it's Final Fantasy has become like one of the decently played games around. Now, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that? That now, like one of the better games has now been Final Fantasy. That's what I mean.
I just have to say one thing. Programmers and designers, step up your game. I mean, the only things that we have nowadays are shoot 'em up games and turn-based fighting. I don't mind the fighting. I don't mind the RPGs. With the shoot 'em up games, I'm sorry, FPS is really getting really old really quick.
It's getting really annoying.
And I'm sorry to bring this up again, but COD and zombies is not. It's just.
Well, that's the reason why it's become overused.
It's old.
Man,
they're abusing it and they're trying to get money off of it because they know people are gonna buy it.
Man, the next time I see a first-person shooter game, it's already gonna. I don't even have to play it. It'll scuff my boots right there.
But here's the thing: you can't judge a book by its cover.
No.
Especially with what we're thinking of.
Yeah. Foreshadowing. Anyway.
Yeah, I just have to go back to school first.
Man.
Hey, back to school. Maybe you're gonna go to the. Where are you gonna go? Back to school, the Right University or something, you know?
Yeah. We'll let you guys know in the future what we're thinking of, but as for now, we're giving you a little teaser.
Anyway.
But ooh, look, a video game.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Piece of candy.
Oh, wait, what is that?
Piece of candy.
Is that Final Fantasy? I was gonna call it Last Fantasy.
Oh, don't you mean the Last of the Saga?
Hey, listen. Last of the Saga. Listen, Final Fantasy, the Last of the Saga, my ass. Last of the Saga, my ass, because they are popping those games out like freaking Pez dispensers now.
Yes.
These games have been popping out through the years like Pez dispensers.
Oh, I can use some more Pez. I ate all mine that you gave me.
Yeah, I know. They're like Pez candies coming out of the dispenser, like boop, 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 one after another.
And not just regularly where you eat one, then like a half hour later you have another one. It's coming out like machine gun
Some
butter.
of them. Wait,
no.
I don't know which ones I'm thinking of, but two of them actually came out at the same. I think there was like two of them that came out at the exact same. Not even one after another. They came out like at the same time. I don't know. I don't remember which ones those were though.
You got me.
Hey, well, you got.
I haven't really been following Final Fantasy for a while.
Trust me, bro. I haven't followed.
Well, that's
either.
that. It goes to like I mean, it has a good following, but the thing is like when most people are starting to get tired of it and wanting something better, and Final Fantasy with that under its belt, like people wanting it to get better, has become one of the more decent and more highly played games. What does that say?
It just means
that means that the games around it are really screwing up.
That's why I said earlier.
Yeah,
Get your game on, people. We need better games.
range the hell up.
Cookie cutter first person shooters.
No,
I know.
screw the first person shooter.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Get rid of SP. Get rid of a lot of the FPS games out there
Final
nowadays.
Fantasy. Listen, Final Fantasy really doesn't fall under a sole first-person shooter. I mean, it's really not, but
It really actually isn't a first-person shooter.
It's not
It's
a
almost. It's
It's
mainly
RPG,
It's mainly an RPG that it's
Yeah.
a turn-based RPG mainly.
yeah,
Because you're
Pretty
leveling up your character, you're setting stats, you're picking skills,
yeah.
and you're
It's kind of like
developing the
it kind of
type.
has like a, it kind of has like
the combat
it's-
system changed.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my
Exactly.
head right now. Final Fantasy is kind of like it's kind of like a mercenaries go to the beach, you know, because the women are dressed scantily, and you know it's kind of like the game Mercenaries almost. It's kind of like the game Mercenaries. No, it kind of is because the way you control
I
it's
don't
controls,
I don't see it.
their stats.
I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Meh.
I do.
Man, bad analogy.
Meh.
Yeah,
Hey,
I-
no.
I'm
Your-
sorry,
no,
Triple M.
your ass is a bad analogy. Your ass is a bad analogy.
Of course it's black.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I am wearing black
That's
shorts.
a bad analogy on that
I'm
one.
not talking about yours. Please. You
Anyway,
look
a video
whiter than
game.
me.
A video game.
Haven't we used that saying like 10 times now?
Hey, why don't we make that the title?
Oh, piece of candy. Yeah, that's what I love.
No, that's what we're gonna make it. Ooh,
It's
a
a
game.
t-shirt- a
Final
t-shirt.
Fantasy.
T-shirt moment.
Sure, moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, look, a game. Final Fantasy.
Alright. Well,
Boozy on Trays of Daughters.
We're not even on topic anymore.
yeah, we are. We're talking about Final Fantasy.
We're talking about a video game while we're
All right.
bickering. That's
How
why we're
about
called
this?
the
How about
Bickering Gamers.
How about this? That's why they call us that. No. Shadow Draco, what's your favorite Final Fantasy
Not still
game?
topic.
Huh?
What's your favorite Final Fantasy game that you've played?
What's my favorite Final Fantasy?
That you've played, yeah.
And not the ones that you have in your dreams.
I'll say the City of 012.
Huh. And why's that?
Because you get to
You get
sorry,
to.
You
I'm
get
not
to,
what?
what?
Serious here, and I'm not going to mess around anymore. It's because that you're able to play as all of the past Final Fantasy characters from the first Final Fantasy straight to the newest one, which is Final Fantasy 13, and it's in a arcade fighting style, where it's still sticking to its RPG roots with the menus and the stats and selecting your attacks.
So basically, it's a game that gives you nostalgia boners anytime you want it.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah,
I can understand that.
And it gives you the fan service.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
That's
How
even better.
What about you, Dragon Fist? What's your favorite?
I really don't have a favorite.
You don't?
You like some
I just
more.
play all of them just to add them to the list of things I've done.
Understood.
Understood, young gentleman.
What
We
about
did
you?
not hear a word.
What about you, True Darkness? What's your favorite?
I'd have to say 5.
Why is that?
Because just to me, that was one of the better played games there. I mainly like the story.
Well, like I said, to each his own.
What's yours?
What's mine? You know what? I'm actually glad you asked me that. I played.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the episode. See you guys later. No, I'm joking.
Hey, listen, don't we all wish? I think we're all kind of. How much you want to bet? Like behind that Skype screen, they're all trying to like make their way for the door, but we keep asking them like questions to reel them back in.
That's why you keep hearing James' static.
I know, it's like he's trying to scramble. No,
Maybe.
actually,
He's probably trying to do that.
watch they'll act silent. No. Anyway,
Speaking of which, I just heard a door.
yeah, right.
That means just have a door already.
Oh yeah, like he's freaking Scooby Doo that shit, you know. But anyway, my favorite Final Fantasy is actually the first one. I got to play the first one. I got the honor to play the first one at my friend Jonathan's birthday party.
People, if you can't see my hand, I'm moving my fingers up and down like I'm making a mouth movement.
He's making a mouth like talking movement with his hands. That's
you know when people talk too much, you make that movement.
Hey, you asked me, so I'm telling you. You asked me, so I'm telling you. So,
well, anyway, guys, it's about that time, so we'll see y'all later.
Triple M reporting out.
Portable Gamer, Shadow Dragon 90. I'm out.
Chicken!